All right. We currently have the fan running. Top area of the bunk is somewhat organized into stacks. I started to clear the cockpit area because the idea is to make the RV clean, straightened out, do the repairs, get it somewhat organized while I have this opportunity where it's parked. And I'm not taking it out this weekend, but I might take it out within the next couple weekends just to go camping in it. But I do want to try to get some stuff done. It looks like it might rain today. It was kind of sprinkling earlier, and the sky's been kind of overcast. So I don't think I'm going to try to paint. But I am going to make it a goal to try to clean up at least the common areas. See how this is all messy right now? It gets overwhelming. I wanted to thank Connie for her kind words that I just read a short time ago in one of the comments. And, I think it's just to remind me that things can often look overwhelming when you walk in and you say, holy schmoly, this is a mess. And then you just sort of freeze. But if, like she was saying, if I kind of just work on it a little bit at a time, I think I can do it. I know I can do it. So I've started to hit like this little area up here, the bunk area, just to make it a little bit organized for storage right now. And I'm putting things up there so I can access it because I'm going to need it, like the solar panel. I'm thinking I may hook it up to charge the battery. Right now, to charge the battery, I start up the van and I run it, which I'm getting ready to do here. I gotta run it for like 10-15 minutes just to charge the battery system back up because you can see the fan is running, lights and everything still work. I can run the water pump. The RV works. It has the house battery, which is just a small little RV battery, as well as the regular battery. They're both hooked together right now. So I'm not too worried about it draining completely down. But if it does drain down, both batteries drain down because they're hooked together. And the reason they're hooked together is so when I start up the car, the van, it'll charge both batteries. So I have to do that like at least once a week. I've been coming here like every other day, every 2 or 3 days, and starting the car up and running it for a few minutes just to get the battery charged back up. Because the kitchen is still somewhat usable. I can come here and I have the butane stove that I can cook. You can see I've got kind of a mess here because we just made the fried rice earlier. And I'm organizing things like the refrigerator. It's not cold, but I'm going to clean it all out and been putting like things like soda and put some water and stuff in here. Basically things that I can use when I'm here. So I guess in a way we can think of this RV right now as Hut 3.0. That's what I'm doing psychologically. I have to kind of psychologically make it seem like a project that I know I can handle, like I did the huts. The huts, if we had just looked at the woods and saw what a mess and scary place that was, I wouldn't have built the hut. I would have just freaked out. And then looking at how much stuff I had to haul out there and all the construction with the limited power and everything else going on, I would have given up. So I'm looking at this RV and it's like way, way further along than Hut 2.0. So all that remains to be done really is just, I just need to straighten out so that I can come in here and not get overwhelmed. Most of this crap, this was stuff piled up from Hurricane Dorian. Yeah, and that was like, what, how many months ago? And then we had all the other crazy stuff going on. So I am just now getting back to me. So going to spend this next month or two at least trying to get this RV. My goal is within 1 month I will have the RV mostly done. What I mean by that is it'll be painted. I may replace some panels. Not working so much on repairing everything, but making it more of a home, like a Hut 3.0, but nice. And, because Connie was telling me she envisions this being nice and possibly me getting some land and parking it there. And then I have at least a starter home. I have a home base, a real home base. So at this point right now, this RV looks like it could end up being a home, as in a real home. So that means taking the time to try to fix it up and make it really nice. Maybe not super, super nice, but good enough. So I guess we can refer to good enough as Hut 3.0. It is Mobile Hut 3.0. And somebody else was just reminding me I want to thank you for your kind words. Reminding me the difference between what this RV looks like now versus when I first got it. When I first got the RV, there were no walls here. All these wall panels were not here. There was no cabinet up there. Remember all the dangling stuff? There were no window thingies, no shades, no little table, no little end tables. Everything was just everywhere. Even the bed. Thank you, Connie. Nice bed. I miss this bed. So, I look forward to taking it out on the weekend and sleeping in it again. Saying, whoo, it feels so good to be on a real mattress. Didn't have this little side, what do you call this, a bookcase that I put up. So, even the floor. Remember trying to walk through the floor and there were holes everywhere? So, right now, it is like way, way better than it was when I first got it. And we do know that, for the most part, the systems work in here. The lights, the power systems, the water system, the bathrooms, the refrigerator, stove works. We can get the gas stove to work. I haven't checked the oven. I think you have to do some special stuff for the oven. But I don't really use the oven, so I'm not too worried about it. And, with electric, we're able to use our toaster oven, our microwave, and everything else. So, with a generator hooked up to this tiny house on wheels here, this RV, this thing is so contained. I just need to have water, and I can generate electricity. Potentially could mount like a lot of solar panels on it and get a huge battery bank. But to get it to the point where it's mostly able to run off solar, you're looking at probably more than $2,000 to $4,000 worth of solar panels and battery packs. Just a battery bank alone would probably be more than $2,000. And I don't think it's really worth it. Not unless I'm planning on just being in the middle of nowhere and never coming back out. So I think a good compromise would be to get a small generator, a small battery bank, and the generator can charge the battery, and that can be used to run something like maybe a refrigerator, potentially solar to run a refrigerator. The reason for wanting all that power is to run air conditioning if you're like in a hot place like Florida, But if I go somewhere else, may not be needed, or if I air it out and vent it out, or if I do some other major modifications, which might end up changing this RV completely. That depends on what happens. Like if I get some land somewhere, this RV may get a total transformation. It won't even look like what you see right now. Because I have some stuff in mind. But, yeah, so I do appreciate all of you with the kind thoughts, reminding me how far good enough has come. How much different it is than it was when we first started, because, coming in here and looking around, I do get overwhelmed, considering that most of the mess that is still here was here because of the hurricane. Like all this stuff. See if we can get our light on here. Oops. All right, so our lights work. I do need to go through all these piles of stuff. This is all from the hurricane, and I lost a lot of stuff in that rain when we had to evacuate. Remember the tub, they had water in it, lost family photos and everything. So, got to go through all this stuff, empty it all out, get this bathroom nice and organized. So, this is a good opportunity to take advantage of the time, And this is stuff that I can do, like paint. Once I get it all painted up and stuff, it'll look nice. I think that's the key, as Connie and others have said, baby steps. As long as I continue to move forward and just accomplish something every day or every other day. And today's goal, because I'm aiming kind of small right now, because I want to feel like I did something. I want to feel like I actually finished. So my big goal right now is just this cab area. I know it's not anything too important, but see all the piles of crap? I want to get all this up. I want to vacuum the floor. I want to have the cab nice and ready to drive. I might even install a new radio, although that's not critical. But I want to get the cab organized and make it so that it is clean, it is ready to drive. Then the second thing is to go through and double check and secure everything. For the most part, things are pretty secure. but to mount some more locks, some more latches, more bungee cords and things to keep things from flying. So when I drive, it's not an issue. But I think if I work from the front back, kind of, or just, it doesn't really matter. Maybe some from the back, some from the front. I'm not really too organized, but I think the key is just doing something. And a project like just finishing this cab area in one day, I can do that. We're not even talking, more than a couple hours. Really, if I was just dumping everything, less than an hour, only a few minutes. But I'm going to go through things, try to organize my supplies, because these are panels for finishing up the panels here. You can see I'll need to cut and finish all the stuff I didn't because of the hurricane. It's really weird because I'm trying to get my brain back to before hurricane hit and we had that evacuation, and then everything just went nuts after that, and I never recovered. So we're going to try to work on it. I do appreciate all you kind thoughts. Thank you, Connie. Thank you, all the viewers who have encouraged me and continue to encourage me, because I don't know if you can figure out, I've been a little bit overwhelmed. It was like non-stop since the hurricane, and now things are starting to get some stability. I start my new job Monday. It's going to be a little crazy the first week because there's a lot of orientation, a lot of videos I got to watch, a lot of testing I got to do. And then after that, I can kind of settle into that position. Meanwhile, I still got to deal with child support. I got to go notify them of the changes so they can re-garnish the wages on a new job. And also I got to pay for the missing weeks. Like Christmas holiday, I wasn't working, so they didn't pay. That means I need to go pay that in cash. But all this stuff I'll do after work on Monday. Hopefully I can resolve it all by Monday, because the earlier I can get it out of the way, the more stable I'll be. Because having to run to Department of Revenue, Child Support Agency, and all this other stuff for the court messes up your whole routine. So, big goal, not really that big. Finish this up. Then decide if I'm going to do some more sections. But I could try to paint, but I think that painting I might reserve for next weekend. I got to do it on a weekend when it's not raining at all, because when it's rainy, the air's moist, it's humid, and paint doesn't want to dry. And I want to do it on a weekend or during the week where I can kind of air it out a little bit. Because when I leave here, I kind of have to seal it up, because if it rains, I don't want rain coming down. Also want to look, so far it hasn't rained, but when it did rain, there was some water coming in. So I'm still a little concerned about the little leaks along the roof, or where water is collecting. I do have a potential plan for dealing with the roof to try to stop the leaking. It's not conventional, but it is my plan, and that is possibly putting up a second roofing layer. Basically making a roof on top of a roof. And you're like, well, why would you do that? Well, I would do that because then I know that the roof is going to be as watertight as I can make it, the new layer, but it gives me some insulation on the roofing, which will help with temperature control. Because RVs, they're not very well insulated at all. And depending on what I decide to do, I could go weird. I could end up making it not even like an RV roof. So we'll see what happens. Don't know yet. That's a major project and would be something I might do later. The main thing right now is just to make sure it's not leaking like crazy, and that it's under control. And I know people still think I'm crazy to start painting and doing things when I don't have all the leaks under control, but if I had tried to just wait until I could fix all the leaks and everything, the RV would never be done. It would not even look like it does right now, which is actually usable. And this mess right here is not normal. This is stuff that was up here, it's just set here for moving. And this thing actually, when I unscrew this, it folds down. But I'm thinking of leaving it up all the time. And if I leave it up all the time, that means I can set the computer, screw that into place, so it becomes kind of locked down. And what that allows is when you're driving, you don't have to do this. Throw everything on the bed so it doesn't fly down. Same with all this stuff here on this little side thingy here. The VCR and DVD player and stuff like that. If I mount it all on there with bungee cords and whatnot, then it doesn't fly apart. This plug is coming out here. That way, when I drive somewhere, I don't have to keep doing this, because this obviously is not ideal. So, think that's the plan for today. I'll probably follow up at the end of the day and let you know how much I actually did. Hopefully, if I don't film a follow-up, then you'll know I just stopped and didn't do anything else. But I'm planning on stopping right now and then hitting all this, and I'll do a final follow-up before I leave here today and show you what it looks like. Hopefully, it'll look less chaotic. Until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. I truly appreciate your kind thoughts and prayers. If you're wondering what's going on right now with me, that's what's going on. In the meantime, if you have a moment, please be sure to pray for Lizzie Two Shoes, Elizabeth. And if you can spare $5 to help her with her Patreon, her GoFundMe. The link is available on the about of this video and on previous videos. If you want to make sure that she gets the full amount of money, it's going to be best to send it to her through PayPal and send it as a gift from a family member or from a friend to a friend, so she can get like 100%. I think that if you can't afford it, don't feel bad about it. Okay, not everybody can afford, just spare $5. But if you can, I think it would help her. And if I can get at least 1,000 subs eventually to send her that, it's not going to completely pull her out of her situation. For those of you who aren't aware, she had like a heart attack over the Christmas holiday. So not exactly the best way to spend Christmas, but that's what happened. And luckily they were able to catch it, and she had some stents put into her heart, I guess, or at least her arteries. And she lost her job or can't work because of that. And she didn't have insurance. It's complicated. You can go read her GoFundMe to find out the situation. The main thing we're trying to do at this point right now is just to try to give her a little bit of a cash reserve so that she can buy some time to heal and resituate herself and figure out what to do. Just like you guys did for me with the RV and stuff, It was that sudden boost that ended up putting me to this position where now I'm actually back in a permanent job. And even though we're still not out of the woods yet, the situation, it is much better than it was a year ago. And, if you don't remember, go back and look at the earlier videos where I'm out there in the woods, not working most of the days because they didn't call me in, and just trying to figure out what to do for the next day. So at this point, we're actually starting to look ahead and make plans. So until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. Please don't forget Elizabeth Two Shoes, and say a prayer for her. Take care now, everyone. Bye-bye now.